Hey everyone, I hope that you enjoyed my last build of my string guitar. It turned out great, and when I used it for my recent performance at the Good Guitar Show, it held up great, stayed in tune and had a good rocking tone. So we're starting a new build, and for this one I wanted to combine both the amazing artistry of bylisagood. We did a collaboration some time ago on a Strandberg-esque green meadow guitar that contained her artwork laser etched into the body. And for this one, I want to do an offset guitar. I've done, my last one, the stream guitar, is offset by it being more of an explorer type style. It goes up. But I'm thinking, instead of having the body shape go up, I want something that's a little bit more rounded and goes down. So not your typical symmetrical Telecaster, but more of a rounded, lower bout type of offset guitar. And on that, I will make a white finish that bylisagood will use her artistry to create an amazing artwork. And since we're having an amazing artwork on the body, I don't want it to be cogged up by too much hardware or pickguard and things like that. So I'll have just a simple hardtail, 2 single coils, and then after the artwork is laid, I might add a little bit of an acrylic see-through pickguard just to protect the finish, to protect the artwork. And in combination with that, what I want to do to make it a little bit more of a hassle is to try out to do a type of temperamented fretboard. Of course, there is the amazing True Temperament company close to me here in Sweden, in Trollhättan, that makes the amazing squiggly frets that is well tempered to tune well over every chord shapes, typically guitar related. So what I'll do is that instead of having pre-drilled slots and frets that are milled beforehand, I will just do a mathematical calculation and approximate the positions of the frets. And then I'll bend each individual fret that corresponds to the positions. I'll use regular fret wire that I'll bend so it becomes the bend that corresponds to each position of each placement of the notes. It's going to be all complicated and mathematical, but once I have the shape and have the radius, then I'll route out each fret slot to then glue in and hammer in. So it's going to be quite the hassle, since I'll probably also do a bound fretboard. So I'm going to have to account for the fact that I'll also be nipping the tangs at the end after gluing it in. But I like the challenge. So a white guitar with an amazing artwork and a sort of my own take on a True Temperament with hand-bent frets to correspond. I'll take you through the wood I'll be using and also the hardware, since I have everything in my shop right now. So I hope that this will be a fun journey to see and something a little bit different from the last build. So stay tuned. And here is the wood that I'll be using. For fretboard material, if some of you might remember, this is the one that I was choosing between for the stream guitar. I had this one that's a little bit more darker with some light streaks. And then I had one that was a little bit more brown and orange, and I choose that one for the stream guitar. But this one that got left over, I think it will be a perfect mix for this guitar, since the white that's going to be the color of the guitar with an artwork will correspond great to a more darker fretboard. And with that, I got this hardwood specimen. I'm not entirely sure what it is, since I got a nice deal on bulk with several different blanks, but I think it will do nicely. And to have something that's not a light wood type, but a little bit of a darker roasted, will be a good mix together with the neck. And then for the body, we also have a European species of wood that I will cut to 2 pieces and glue together. And the top wood is not going to be anything fancy. This is just a plain sycamore top. And the idea for that is that I want to do a body that is chambered to get a more nice acoustic feel of the instrument, kind of like the Strandberg guitars have. So the body will be hollowed out with chambers, and then this will be on top, which will also create a good base after you sanded this down and laid the foundation for the artwork that's going on top of it. So all in all, it's a nice, good selection, not leaning in so much on heavily figured woods, but thinking more of the fact that we want something that's a good base for the artwork that's going on it. Strong and sturdy, the fretboard is what's gonna pop. And in terms of the hardware, we have the regular electronics. We have a hardtail bridge, just a black one. All of the nice hardware will be black. Some go-to heads, a dual action truss rod, black hardware on the end pins as well, and medium jumbo frets. And I found these bad boys, which is the Tone Rider Apex Plus, which are pretty silent and have a good nice grit to them. So I'll be having one in the bridge position and one in the neck position. And with this, I'm using a super switch to be able to have, like a Telecaster, the bridge, both, and then the neck, but also 2 versions where you have series and parallel for the humbucker, and then you have one that's out of phase. So we'll create many different varieties of tones using that super switch with just 2 pickups. Well, the first screw up happens early. When I was cutting out the pieces, since this is a pretty large instrument, I was just thinking about the edges. And you can kind of see where I fell short. I didn't account for the heel. But since this will be a one-color guitar, you won't notice the fact that I will have to put on an extra piece here. It's just silly things that happens, but it won't affect the end result. But always plan ahead, kids. There we are. Glue these up straighten these out and glue them together. Silly things.
Tellurians, please like, share, and subscribe and all that jazz. Until next time, ta-ta!